Okay, so today I thought we'd talk about the first deck I ever got in Arena, and I did. I did it for 15 minutes, and then I discovered that I recorded for 15 minutes and didn't record any audio because it's not automatically on, and you have to check it every time. I'm going to figure out there's a setting for that. But the deck I want to talk about, again, is Liliana's Legion. That's the first deck I ever got. It was a special promo from Amazon Prime, for Twitch Prime. And I hope they do another one someday because it's a really neat deck. I played a lot with it today, had a lot of fun, and I managed to get to gold rank, which I don't know if it's a big deal. It's a big deal to me with this deck. So let's check it out. I also discovered today that this layout, which is terrible, actually converts to this layout, which should be the default. I don't know why it isn't, but this is so much better. You can see all your cards and how many of them you have. It's very great. Now, last time when I first recorded this, I started with the Lilliana and worked to the small. I'm going to start from the lower end to the big end this time. The theme of this deck is amassing an army. Amass is a ability. I don't know what the terminology is for this. I need to probably learn that. That when some creatures, when you summon them, have this amass side effect that creates a token creature, and every time you amass, that token creature gets bigger and bigger. And it's just one creature. Some of them summon multiple creatures, but amass is like just one big army that keeps growing bigger and stronger, and just is like one unstoppable force. Well, mostly unstoppable. But in the theme of the deck, you get a lot of undead people. The first undead person spirit we're going to talk about is the Spectral Sailor, which is in a lot of these decks because he's really cheap. He's a 1-cost, 1/1 blue flyer with flash, which means you can just summon him anytime you want. And for 4 mana, he lets you draw a card. It's kind of handy. He's a handy guy to have around. Also, very equally handy is the Foulmire Knight. 1-cost, 1/1 creature. You can choose to use his instant adventure instead of summoning him, and you can draw a card, although it will cost you a life. Or you can summon him as a cheap 1/1 Death Touch creature, which is most of the time it's good enough to keep people at bay. They don't like to lose their little critters to a little Death Knight. Also zombie. He's also a zombie, so that's important later. We also have the Fairy Duelist, who not really thematic to the deck. He's kind of handy though in a blocking situation. You can summon him when your opponent's attacking and protect your critters by reducing the damage one of them might do to yours, and that's helped me before. Nice to have around. Not great, not bad. A couple of those in here. Then here's the Lazotep Reaver. Now that's the zombie army is there. You can see them there, and then the background. They're sort of this Egyptian hybrid, high fantasy. The Lazotep Legion. They're really neat. Reminds me of Iron Maiden's Power Slave. Very, very cool. Lazotep Reaver is pretty cheap. Comes out and gets a good way to start your zombie army off with one of him. Just amass one, and that gets you going. Then we have Callous Dismissal. You can see a Lazotep priest there blowing some guy's poor mind. Just for the cost of 2 mana, remove a target non-land permanent, and you get a little zombie army going there. It's really nice. This card, I love this one. I wish I had another one of it. At the beginning of the upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until the end of turn. So that's really great. It's great to have later in the game. Early on, it can do a lot of damage to you, but once you get your army about halfway up, maybe 3/3, 4/4, bring this out and pump it up, and just you start healing yourself, and you don't even notice it. It's really great. Mid range here, we have the Aven Eternal, who is flying. Really neat art there. Let you amass 1. The Gleaming Overseer. I love that. Such neat art for this. Amasses 1, and zombie tokens you control have hexproof and menace. So this is where your army starts getting stronger and stronger. You got a big zombie army. They can't be the target of spells. They can't be blocked by unless you have at least 2 creatures blocking them. Very nice. Then Winged Words. Pretty common spell. Most blue decks let you draw a couple of cards. Cheaper if you got a flying creature. And then of course Murder. Pretty much prevalent in every black deck out there. Does what it says. Murders a creature, destroys target creature, like the art. Then we have the Sphinx of Foresight. Pretty interchangeable card, in my opinion. He's flying. He does have a nice ability while he's out. He's sort of like an enchantment creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, it lets you scry a card, which lets you look at the top card of your library. If you like it, you keep it. If you don't, put it on the bottom. It's a great little card. Nightvale Predator. I love this guy. Vampire, triple threat, flying, death touch, and hexproof. Welcome to Nightvale Predator. Pretty cheap, 3/3. Who's really hard to do any damage to. Can take out a lot of critters. Very nice. Then there's the Eternal Skylord, who doesn't have flying, but gives flying to other zombies. He's a nice guy. So zombie tokens you control have flying. Get this out there. You get a 2/2 zombie army that's flying as soon as he comes in, hits the table. If you don't already have a guy out, so that's really nice. I'm not sure why he doesn't have flying. If the Avon Eternal does, I don't know. Then you have Unexplained Vision. It's okay. Draw 3 cards. If you have to use 3 to cast it, you scry 3. So it's okay. This card I added today because I got it today. I thought it was neat. I took out a 5/5 Vulture, Ghost Vulture, that was a 6 mana cost that I never get out whenever I'm playing with this deck. I don't know if I'll keep him in here or not. We'll see. I just thought, hey, a Planeswalker that's mono black. I'll throw him in here. He doesn't do a lot. Whenever your opponent draws a card, takes a point of damage, you can tap it, destroy target creature, controller draws 2 cards. You can use that on yourself, make yourself get to draw cards. Enter the God Eternals. I really want to say God's Eternal because that sounds more poetic, but I guess God Eternals is a title. So this does it all here. It deals 4 damage to a target creature. You gain life equal to the damage dealt, and the target player then puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard, and you amass 4. So, wow. A lot happens when this card gets out. I only got one of those, too. I wouldn't mind having another one. Then there is Commence the Endgame. This is where you can amass the most. This is why you got all these other card draw things in there. If you can manage to pay the cost of this and more than one of those, this would be good with that folio that increases your hand size or removes your hand size. Spell cannot be countered. You draw 2 cards and then amass X, where it's equal to the number of cards in your hand. So if you've got 7 cards in your hand, you got a 7/7 zombie army at least right out of the gate. Well, not out of the gate, but probably much further down the gate. Then the last creature we're going to talk about, or Planeswalker we're going to talk about, is the General herself, Lilliana, the General of the Dread Horde, legendary Planeswalker. Planeswalkers are confusing to me. I still don't understand them that well. Every time I go up against one in a match, I'm just lost. I'm learning though. I'm an old fool from the old school. They have 6 health. You can use that you can increase it. When you increase it by 1, let's start over. This is what the card does. Whenever a creature you control dies, you draw a card. You add 1 to her. She creates a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Remove 4. Each player sacrifices 2 creature. And if you manage to get her pumped up to 9 and remove 9, each opponent, that's just anybody but you, chooses a permanent in control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. So that's pretty crazy. So you get to keep one land, one creature, one enchantment, one artifact, etc. I guess maybe planeswalkers count for that too. Everything else is gone. Um, so yeah, she's pretty bad. Also a card I've never managed to get on. I've had her like in my opening hand one time, and the other person we didn't even play. They just blowed up. So we'll see. Someday I'll get to use her. This is a great deck. 10 islands, 10 swamps, 4 Dimir guild gates. I might look and see if I've got some more blue-black lands, something like that, and pump it up. Swap them out or whatever. Oh, on the Obnixilis, the Hate Twisted card I got when I was rewarded with the card. It showed like regular art for it, but when I got it over here, it was this more stained glass style art. So I'm not sure why. So very interesting. So we're done here. It thinks I don't want to. What did I remove? I removed something. Oh no. Let me go back to decks. Yes, discard changes. Wow, okay. That was crazy. I did want to show you a couple of other cards. There's Flourishing Fox. I wish there was a way to filter this by card styles. I do like the animated styles. It's very neat. Wish I could show you more of those. Just looking at the white cards now. I think we get the Impassioned Orator. You have to tell the game. It seems silly to me. You have to tell the game to use the card styles. I think it should just do that automatically. Oh, that's my favorite passive. I didn't realize I had that pacifism. I will have to swap that out in my decks that use pacifism. I love that. That's that's a good one. I also like the one. It's sort of like a troll or something that's sort of zoned out, like got little deer and bunnies on it. You don't see that one anymore. But yeah, lots of neat cards in here. Oh yeah, Spontaneous Flight. That's a great one. So next time I'll maybe do another. If you like this, I'll do another one. We'll talk about the Cult of Rakdos. That's the circus-themed, entertainment-themed sort of deck. It has cast up there. Most of these decks I got from in the game. Liliana's Revenge, like I said, House Dimir, the Selesnya Conclave, Forest Might, Cult of Rakdos, the Azorius Senate, Azure Skies, Out for Blood, Dome Destruction, Gruul Clans, Angelic Army, which I think is the second. Might have been the first deck I got. First or second deck I got. The rest are mine. This is my Het Cat deck. Oh, there's that one other card I wanted to show you. There's like some really cool cat cards in here. That's all you care about. You want to see the cool cat. But yeah, Chandra's Ember Cat. I thought that was a very cool card. Thought you'd like to see that. Oh, let me show you my favorite animated card I have, or one of my favorite. I like this. Unexpected Fangs. Look at that little thing. It's like a cross between a Chihuahua and a Dick and Wolverine or something. It's just digging in there. It's really cool. But I guess that'll be it. We'll wish I had recorded audio on the first video because it was a lot better. But yeah, next time maybe do another deck review. We'll talk about the Cult of Rakdos and how they're all devilish divas, etc. So until next time then, bye.